Man, I knew this would happen sooner or later. I am recording post-commentary for this because I just recorded this entire episode and none of my audio was picked up. So now I gotta record post-commentary and repeat everything I said. So here I am going into the shrine. Man, I knew this would happen at some point. I was recording with a different mic. You know, a new setup, because I figured actually having a microphone would be better. I knew it would mess up sooner or later. And, well, it did. Now, I have to rewatch my own playthrough, my own footage, and, and repeat everything I said, and then, you know, edit the audio together. Ain't this fun? Well, at least I still have the gameplay footage. So, the topic for today is the fact that I actually had an interview today, a job interview. Today being the day that I'm playing this, not the day this is posted. So today, on the 15th of May, I had a job interview. So, not whenever this video gets posted. Maybe on like the 22nd, I don't know. Not too sure. Man, it really sucks that now I gotta do post-commentary for an hour. Well, this is the life I've chosen. So, yeah, today I had a job interview. I'm actually pretty tired. You know, I just spent an hour playing this and then reviewing the footage. No audio of my voice was picked up, so now I need to spend another hour doing commentary. And I wanted to do commentary immediately, just so everything I said is still fresh in my mind. So first thing we did was doing this shrine, obviously. You're gonna see me fail in the shrine a couple of times, especially here. You're gonna see me fall over this waterfall a couple of times. Alright, so today I actually had a job interview. So, if you remember previously, I mentioned that, you know, I was looking for a new job, or just a job in general. So, previously I mentioned that in the emails, we had been discussing back and forth a couple of things, and we actually scheduled for today for me to actually have a job interview. And it kind of sucks that it happened today on my day off, because, you know, on my day off I like to do my own stuff, relax, just chill, do my own things. But no, today I basically had a job interview to worry about the whole time. And to make things worse, I had to leave the house 4 times today, when realistically, I only needed to leave the house twice. Let me explain why. So, first off, I want to say that, well, there's a very good reason. There's a reason why I don't tell my family I have job interviews whenever the occasion comes up that I actually get a job interview. There's a reason I don't tell my family about it. And that's because they are so annoying with it. They micromanage everything. It's like, yes, I get it. Clean myself up, shave, shower, do my hair, dress nice clothes. I get it. I'm not a kid anymore, you know? I've done this before. I know what to do. My mom, however, she wanted me to be extra prepared. So she asked me, do you have a copy of your resume and your license badge with you? I'm just like, no, why do I need those? Now, typically, when you have a job interview, you would have your resume with you. However, in this case, you know, we applied online. So they should already have a copy of my resume, because I sent my resume in when I applied online, right? So they should already have my resume. So why do I need to bring my resume again for the in-person interview, right? But fine, whatever. I guess it's better to be over-prepared, you know? Better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. You can see here that I'm checking for if I have all the chests in the shrine. So yeah, I went out. I had to drive all the way from home back out to work. Because, let me just mention that the printer we have at home doesn't work. Can't actually print. So, I had to go all the way back to work on my day off to not only print another copy of my resume, but also pick up my license badge. You know? Now that I'm graduated, I've finished school, I'm licensed, I have a badge connected to a lanyard, right? So that's at work. I needed to go all the way back to work to pick those up. And they proved ultimately to be pointless, useless. It was a waste of my time to go all the way out there to pick them up, because neither came into use during the job interview. Although, points where points are due, I suppose, because, at least it kinda gave me the impression like I was prepared for absolutely anything. I had a spare copy of my resume just in case, as well as my badge to quote-unquote prove that yes, I am licensed. I think over here, now I'm deciding what to do. Like, I realized there's a shrine down here, and I'm just saying here, like, isn't this the shrine with the girl who loves balls? Like the guardian lover? So I decided, yes, let's go down there and check out the shrine down there. So here, because I remembered the ball-loving girl is down there. So, to the shrine we go. So yeah, I went all the way to work to pick that stuff up despite it being pointless. And then, on my way home, I figured, well, I'm already heading home. And if I just go a different direction to head home, I could also pick up some food along the way. Like, I could buy some lunch before I head home. So what I did was I took a different path home, and along the way I bought myself another Shelby's shawarma. I bought myself a legendary Shelby's beef and lamb wrap. So I had that when I got home. You know, when I got home, I ate. I tried watching an episode of The Boys, but I just didn't have time. I didn't have time to watch the full hour episode. Because my interview was like, oh my god, I said appointment again. My interview was at 4:30 in the afternoon. By the time I got home, it was already 3. And you know, I still needed time to change, get dressed, and actually get there. So here I tried to climb back up because I noticed there was a Korok. But then... wait for it. Oh no! It's moist! I'm slipping despite the fact that the forecast doesn't show rain. But yet I can see little rain droplets. So now I can't climb up. So ultimately I decided, you know what? Let's go around instead of over. So I decided to go this way to go around. Don't worry, we'll come back to do the Korok later on. So yeah, that's the first time I went out today. Despite, realistically, I didn't need to, because both my resume and my license badge were completely useless. Okay, so and then, second time I went out today was for the interview itself. I'll talk about that after. So after the interview, on my way home, because from this workplace to home, it's a very quick drive, by the way, it's like 10 minutes. So in between, there was a gas station and a grocery store. So I needed to get gas, so I figured, fine, let me get gas along the way. So I ultimately decided not to take this demon carver. So I got gas, and unbeknownst to me, my mom actually sent me a message on WeChat that, hey, if you're on the way home, can you go to the grocery store and pick up some food for dinner? Now, I didn't see the message because, one, I was in a job interview and I put my phone on Do Not Disturb, and two, man, I don't fucking use WeChat. I don't use the damn app. I only have the damn app because my family uses it. I don't use that stinking app. So I didn't see the message. When I got home, I got a call from my mom. Did you go to the grocery store? I'm just like, no. Aw, I told you. It's like, I didn't get the message. So then I had to go all the way back out to the grocery store. You can see I kind of fumbled my buttons there. Here I remembered, like, oh no, I didn't get that Korok because of the rain. And I'm just like, oh, we'll do it, we'll get back to it later on. Which we will. We'll get that Korok again. Excuse me. So, after I got home, I had to go back out to the grocery store. And I was right there. I was already right there, man. Because I was already there getting gas and the grocery store's right there. I was already there. But, fine. It's not even a 5-minute drive, so I went back out. Once I got there, I realized I don't have my wallet on me. I don't have money to buy food. So I had to drive all the way back home to get my wallet. The reason I didn't have my wallet is because I needed to dress fancy. I needed to wear a button-up shirt, fancy pants, fancy shoes for the interview, you know, dress up nice for the interview. So I moved my wallet from my regular pair of pants to the fancy pair of pants. So I didn't have my wallet with me to buy food. That also technically means that I drove without a license, but shh, don't tell anyone. So I had to go all the way back home to get my wallet just to go all the way back to the grocery store. Thus, I left my house 4 times today. I went to work to get my resume. I went to the job interview. I went out to the grocery store only to realize I didn't have my wallet. And then I went back to the grocery store having gotten my wallet back from home. So, I went out 4 times today and I am pretty tired. So that's why I did only record 1 of these today. That and I also didn't have a lot of time. Well, not a lot of time my ass, because immediately recording this, I'm now recording this voiceover. Man, I'm tired. I'm going to bed after this. But, due to technical difficulties, I need to sit here for an hour talking over my own gameplay. Just for you guys. So anyways, the job interview itself went as smoothly as you would expect for a job interview. Now, I was kind of caught off guard when I first arrived, because the person interviewing me, the boss, the manager, the doctor, was a woman. Now, I'm not trying to sound offensive, you know, I'm not trying to sound like a boss and a doctor can't be a woman, I'm not trying to say that. The reason I was expecting a guy is because the person I was emailing back and forth, the email's name was John. So I was kind of expecting a guy. So I was completely caught off guard to see that it was a woman as the role of manager and the doctor. Then again, I suppose, you know, it's not impossible for a woman to be named John. I guess that can happen. And you know, I also thought about, like, what are the chances of this being the case? Maybe... Okay, so here... Hold on, before I say any more. So, I need to get pictures for Guardians for her. So here I'm brainstorming out loud where I could go. I knew that Central Tower I can get a Guardian. like an actual fully fledged guardian, so I went here. And then I was also saying I could go to, say, Oculus Citadel for the Flying Guardian, and then I could just go into a shrine with a test of strength to find a small guardian. So that's exactly what I did. Now you're about to see me fail this guardian a couple times. You know, but I also did say during playing this that, you know, we need the giant ancient cores eventually. So I may as well take down this guardian while I'm here in hopes to get one. Spoilers, I did not get one. So there I just used up my weapon's durability and got hurt. I was just thinking like, okay, where did my autosave? Where did my autosave put me? Probably nowhere useful. And honestly, this autosave's not that bad. I just need to warp back there. So yeah. So I was thinking like, what are the chances she would be using, say, her husband's email? Right? To email me. That's why the email's name is John. But then I started thinking, what are the chances of that actually being the case, right? Because why wouldn't she just use her own email or create a business email for the business? I don't know. She can do what she wants, I guess. So anyways, yeah, I had the job interview today. Now, one concern I had was the fact that I could have maybe stunk. Because it's warm today. Previously, I talked about the fluctuating temperatures. How sometimes it's cold out, sometimes it's hot out. Man, it was hot out today. And it's not even, like, summer proper yet, so it's only going to get hotter from here. It was hot today, and I had to wear a button-up shirt plus a layer underneath, you know, just a plain white shirt. So I was hot. I was sweating. So I was really scared that I would smell bad during the interview. But anyways, so yeah, I did have to dress up fancy for the interview. And when I got there, I was a little surprised to see the place was small. The place was a little smaller than I expected, and it was also a lot more bleak than I expected. You know, there was no background music, like there was no music to just kill the silent mood. There was no anything on the walls, you know, it was just plain white. There was no anything. Like, it was very bleak, it was very bland and just plain. And the place itself was actually rather small, too. So, anyways, like, during the interview itself, I got asked a couple of questions. By the way, here I am looking for shrines that have a test of strength. I went with this modest one, because ultimately it didn't even matter, as long as I get a picture of something. So, yeah, during the interview, I got asked some questions. Now, I did fumble a couple of times because, you know, it's a job interview. You get nervous. I can only hope that I did at least a decent job, gave off a decent impression. I was asked certain questions like, you know, what made you want to come out and look for work elsewhere? Obviously, I didn't want to immediately give off my answer as, you know, money. Why am I looking for a job? For money. Like, that's the biggest motivator right now. I'm looking for a job to get paid, to make some money. I didn't want to say that, even though that's the most obvious answer, so I had to make some bullshit up. Alright, so I got the picture of the small guardian. Now I need to go to Oculus Tower to get the one that flies. So yeah, I didn't want to just answer the most obvious question. Why am I looking for a job? For money. So I had to make up some bullshit. Like, oh, I just graduated. I just got my license. So now I'm trying to get out there in the world, try to look for a job. I was asked something like, what are your short-term and long-term goals? I only answered one thing. I think this one would more so go for like short-term, or it could go for long-term as well. Regardless, I only answered one thing, and then we kind of just moved on to another question. So you decide, would this be considered short-term or long-term? I told her that, you know, I just graduated. I just got licensed. So, in the meantime, before I go back to school and do more, I would like to work. Right? Now, I don't want to go back to school immediately because this license alone was already a lot of work. So, before I go back to school, I would like to work. That's along the lines of what I said. Well, after the interview, she asked me, like, do I have any questions for her? I asked her certain things about the position. I asked her stuff like, what am I allowed to bring with me to work? Can I bring, like, a water bottle and lunch? Now, I feel like that's a stupid question, but, you know, I just have to make sure, right? Am I expected to bring my own lunch, or, like, do I go out to buy lunch every day? What am I expected, right? By the way, here I am looking for where that Korok was. So I was told, yeah, you will get a 30-minute lunch every day, and we'll have a little staff room. We have a mini fridge. Yeah, you're allowed to bring a water bottle, of course, that kind of thing. I'm just thinking to myself, wow, 30 minutes for a lunch? It's kind of less than I expected, but it's alright. Not a big deal. I also asked, like, you know, what the hours would be like, and she told me the hours would be 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., which is obviously no big deal, but it is a little bit longer than what I'm used to. I know what I'm used to right now ain't no 9 to 5. Right now for work, what we usually do is 11:30 to 7. Depends on the scenery. If it's super quiet and the mall is dead, then we'll close a little bit early, like 6:30. But for the most part, what I'm used to is 11:30 to 6:30 or 7. So, having to work from 10 to 7. Let's see. That's like a 10-hour shift, so that's like more than a 9 to 5, which, again, isn't the biggest deal, you know? It's a little bit longer than what I'm used to, but that's just the real world. Here you can see me trying to preserve my weapon durability, not use my weapon to hit this over, and I super failed. You're about to see me give up. Yeah, I really gave up when the boulder started to roll backwards. So I'm just like, oh, screw this. I also asked, like, what would I be expected to wear? Would I be expected to wear, you know, dress up this fancy like I am right now? Or can I come a little bit more casual? And she said, yeah, you can come in a little bit more casual. Stuff like jeans and a polo shirt. That's fine. Just as long as you don't come in looking like a bum. That's literally what she told me. So, great. I can work and be more comfortable, right? Don't have to wear a dress shirt every single time. Some places actually do expect you to do that. So, to be told that I don't need to is already very lucky. Now, here's one thing that is a bit of a concern to me after she told me. So, and I don't exactly know how to phrase this without coming off as sounding offensive, So, it's the clientele that concerns me. So, this woman is Egyptian, that's what she told me she is. And she told me that a lot of, like, people that would come to her for business have a similar look to her. So she tells me that a lot of Arab people would go to her for business constantly. So that alone kind of concerns me, because we all know how Arabic people can be sometimes. Now, I'm not trying to be offensive. You know, everyone has their own traits. Take, for example, like, what I do right now at the family store. We are an Asian business. I'm an Asian guy. We're an Asian business in an Asian market. So, we primarily have an Asian market. We primarily have Asian people coming to us. Now, obviously, we have others. You know, we have people who are white, black, Indian, everything else. We have everyone come to us, but for the most part, we have Asian customers. And, well, that's just because, you know, people tend to stick with their own race, their own kind. I'm really trying not to sound offensive. You know what I'm trying to say, right? Like, Asians just stick to Asians. So, because she is an Egyptian woman, she mentioned to me that a lot of her clientele are, like, Arabic. And, you know, just brown. So, that would be the clientele that I could expect to deal with the most. I mean, honestly, there's nothing wrong with dealing with people like them. I'm trying really hard not to sound offensive here. Like, I'm really trying hard. Like, there's no problem with clientele like them, you know? However, it's just it's just something different than what I'm used to, you know? I'm used to dealing with how annoying Asian people are, now I gotta deal with how annoying Arabic people are. It's just a different kind of, headache. And another thing that I didn't really consider, so because Boss Lady here is a doctor of sorts, that means that she would need appointments. And that would be my job. My job would be sitting at the front. I greet the people who come in. I do the paperwork. I do the bookings. So, whenever we get, say, emails and phone calls, and believe me, I mentioned before I don't like checking emails, even for work. But in this case, I have to check them. I have to do them because that's my job. That's what I'm getting paid to do. So we get emails and phone calls to book appointments. I need to be the one to book those appointments. And I also need to be the one to remind the doctor, Doc, you have a 2 o'clock appointment today with Mr. Person. You know, like, that's my job. I guess you could call me kind of like the receptionist. Wow, I didn't really think about that. Yeah, I don't know how to do that. Obviously, I haven't been trained yet, you know? So I don't know how they do things. And you know, that's another thing too. Obviously, right now, I have my reservations, I have my hesitations about a new job, you know? It's new people, a new environment, new ways to do things, new orders to follow, because I have to do what I'm told, right? Like, everything is new. I don't know how they do business. I don't know anything at the moment. So I'm a little hesitant, right? I'm a little reserved. Of course, I would like to just stick with what I know right now at the family business, because I know what to do there. And at the family business, I can get away with a lot of stuff just because it's the family business. But we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a world where we have to work for a living. You know, it's like that Mr. Krabs meme. Not really a meme. It's just like what Mr. Krabs said. Oh, I'm Squidward and I have to work for a living. Boo-hoo-hoo. Yep. That's the world we live in. Now, obviously, I haven't been trained yet. I don't know how they do business just yet. So, once I'm trained, then this wouldn't be an issue. Well, once I get into the flow of things, I understand how things work, it wouldn't be a problem. Though, what I'm not looking forward to is the learning curve. Because the fact that I don't know absolutely anything. I don't know anything about how they do business yet. And I'm only going to be working a part-time job, right? I'm not working there full-time if I get the job. Assuming I do get the job, if I start working there, then that's like 2 to 3 days a week part-time, right? So, alone, it's going to take me quite a while to get the hang of things. I need to be trained on how they do business. I need to know everything that they do their way. So that alone is going to take me quite a while to get the hang of. I'm sure once I do get a hang of it, know how they operate, it'll just be quick and easy. Not gonna lie, not looking forward to that. But that's life. You know, another thing I asked is like, aside from asking for the business hours, I also asked, okay, so let's say I do start working here. Would it just be me and you, boss? Or would it be like, you know, someone else is working here? Like, how would that work? So anyways, I noticed there's a shrine over here I could do. And, alongside noticing there's a shrine to do there, I noticed there's a shrine over here. Very easy to do. It's just out in the open. So I figured let's do that first, since that shrine's super easy to get to. So I also asked, like, who else would be working here? And I was told it would just be the two of us. Me and the boss, the manager. Like, gee, no pressure, am I right? Maybe every now and then, occasionally, we'll have another part-timer working the same day I am. But for the most part, it would just be me and her. Just the two of us working together. Once again, like, no pressure, right? And one thing that I realized, which is like the biggest concern, the biggest oh shit moment, is the fact that whenever someone walks in looking to make a purchase, looking for something specific, it is my job to make sure that person leaves satisfied and having purchased something. Here I'm debating, do I go for Farosh or not? I decided ultimately, nah, I should probably get the armor sets to help grind for dragon parts first before I actually grind for dragon parts. So for Farosh, I would preferably get the rubber set before grinding Farosh parts. So yeah, it is my job to make sure anyone who comes in set on purchasing something that day actually purchase something that day. Because it's not like my current position now with the family biz where it's in a mall, right? So here, I kind of just thought initially that the momentum would break them. Nope, I need to put another bomb on top. So my current position right now is in a mall. So if someone is looking at something, they're a little hesitant, they're not too sure yet, they need to think about it, we would tell them, yeah, you don't need to decide right now. Walk around first, go to the food court, grab a bite to eat. Think about it first. And when you made a decision, you can come back. If I get this job, there is no saying that. Because this store is not in a mall, it's in a plaza. A plaza with not really a lot of things you can quote-unquote shop for. And it would be really bad if, you know, if they're unsure if they want to purchase it or not, and they have to drive all the way back another day. That's just not good. You know? So, it is my job to convince the customer. If you want to purchase something today, yes, this is a good choice, you know? It would save you a trip from having to come back another day. Why waste your time, you know? If you like it, you're looking to purchase, don't be hesitant. Make a decision today, purchase it today. You don't have to come back another day because you needed time to think about it, that kind of stuff, right? Like, that would be my job. So, you know, I can't use the line of, like, walk around and think about it first, because there is no walking around and thinking about it. Because there is no walking around. There is nothing to walk around. It's a damn plaza with, like, dance classes next door. It's not a place to shop around. So that's my #1 biggest concern. If anyone walks in looking to purchase something, I have to make sure that person purchased something and is satisfied. Yay, life, right? Jeez, I still have like half an hour of commentary to say. What else happened during the interview? You know, eventually she said, like, if you're comfortable, then maybe, you know, down the line when you're more trained and you're more capable, eventually maybe you could just spend a day at the store yourself. Literally just you. The doctor's not in, it would just be you, so you would help anyone who comes in, let them know the doctor's not in today, help out whatever they need, and, you know, book appointments, phone calls, emails. Like, it would just be you. You would be in charge to handle everything that day. As an example. It's like, damn, really no pressure, right? Maybe eventually it would be just me for the whole day. I mean, I guess technically if that's the case, then I could take things at my own pace instead of being concerned like, oh boy, is the boss watching me if I'm working? Like, I could just do things at my own pace. Obviously get the jobs done, but do it slowly and do it at my own pace, right? Here I am heading to the shrine. I'm deciding if I want to stop by here or not. Like, is there a chest for me to open? I'm about to turn around and realize, yes, there is a chest. Let me at least open the chest, but not fight the enemies. So, here I am heading back just to open the chest. Only for the chest to be something worthless that I don't want. And I'm just like, here, let me give you guys a gift before I leave. So I know how previously I mentioned that getting a job isn't easy. The process to get a job isn't easy. And, you know, it's like, what are the chances that one of the first jobs that I apply to, I get the job, right? I mean, the fact that I already was emailing with the boss back and forth, and even had a freaking interview today, it's like, that alone's already pretty good. Most people don't even make it this far. But, we'll have to wait and see. Chances are, what's more likely to happen is that I get an email saying, you know, it's like, we've decided that we're gonna go a different direction. Best of luck to you with the rest of your future endeavors. That's more likely to happen than me getting an email saying, congratulations, you got the job, you can start Monday. You know, it's more likely that I don't get the job. Not because I didn't make a good impression, hopefully, but because, you know, I'm sure there's other applicants who applied, people who might do a better job than me, might give off a better impression than me, that kind of thing. Or just people who asked for less pay than I did. So yeah, it's like, it's not guaranteed I'll even get the goddamn job, you know? All I had was a job interview today. They still need time to decide, will we hire this guy or not? So yeah, there's no guarantees if I will even get the job or not. All I had was a job interview today. Well, trying to think, what else can I say? Because other things I talked about regarding what we're going to do next in the game, that point hasn't come up yet. Earlier, before actually recording this episode, I was hunting for Blue Flower Floette in my Pokemon Violet. I was looking around, seeing what the game had, and I noticed a Blue Flower Flabebe outbreak next to the Fairy type Team Star base. And well, ever since I got 2 shiny Blue Flower Flabebes during the Hong Kong and Japan trip, yeah, I've grown more of an appreciation for specifically Blue Flower Flabebe line. So I decided, you know what? I'll hunt for it. I will hunt for a Blue Flower Flabebe. Well, actually, I wanted to hunt for 2. One to evolve into a Florges. I did get 1 shiny Blue Flower Flabebe before starting this. I'll need to hunt for another one after. Trying to think, like, what else is there for me to say regarding the interview? I mean, it's not the worst thing if I don't get the job, but it would be a pretty good opportunity if I did get the job, just because it is so damn close to home. It is like a 10-minute drive, so it's honestly pretty close. And, you know, like, close at 7 p.m., I'll be home before 7:30, so it's not that far. It's really not that far. And, hold on, I haven't done the math yet. So if I really do get $19 an hour, and I work 10 hours, that's $190. That's already much better than minimum wage, because I'm technically licensed, so I should make more than the average person who's not licensed making minimum wage, right? Oh yeah, I didn't even mention that. I realize there's no restrictions or requirements to enter the shrine. So I didn't need to talk to the lady ruining cooking, so I just walked right in. So yeah, $190 a day, and let's say I work 3 days because I'm part-time. 3 days a week. That's $570. 2 weeks? That's already $1,000, more than $1,000 in my bank. Well, obviously I get paid bi-weekly, I would assume. So, you know, just 2 weeks later would be $1,000, right? So that's pretty good. Obviously I have to work for it, but still, that's just the world, that's just life. That would also mean I'm working 30 hours a week, which for part-time, that's okay. that's a little bit longer than a 9 to 5, right? Because 9 to 5, that is 8 hours, but instead I'll be working 10 hours. Which, yes, I work more hours than a 9 to 5 job, but I'm also making more money than a 9 to 5, right? Like I said, the biggest motivator for me to actually get a goddamn job is money. So, once the money starts flowing in, then yeah, this job will seem worth it. If I get it, that is. $570 for just working 3 days a week. Alright, let's be a little bit more reserved. Let's say part-time job, I work 2 days a week. $19 times 10 hours a day times 2, 380. 2 weeks later, 760. So, you know, 3 weeks later, I will get $1,000 paycheck. Or earned $1,000. 4 weeks later, wait. Yeah, 4 weeks later is $1,500. So in 1 month, working a part-time job is $1,500. I mean, it's okay, you know. It is part-time, so it's better than nothing, right? And like I said before, let's say the family business makes no sales that day. Or makes no sales. $0 income, $0 revenue, $0 basically. I could either just sit there at the family store and the whole family gets nothing, or my family sits there, no sales, no anything, and in the meantime, I could bring home $1,500 a month. It seems like a no-brainer to me. Life is hard, you know? Life ain't sunshine and rainbows. You need to work for a living. You need to work to survive in this world. The alternative is going primal and living in the wilderness, having to hunt. You know? If we humans did not evolve into a society, then that's where humanity would be. Anyways, I believe here I'm actually just looking around to see what I could do next. Because for majority of the map, we have 2 big chunks of the map missing. Technically 3. And for the most part, we've done majority of the shrines that we could with the spots that we've opened. I don't want to do the shrines in Death Mountain just yet. I don't want to go to Death Mountain just yet. The shrines in in Korok Forest, I realized that, wait a second, how many hearts do I have now? I realized I have 11 hearts right now, plus how many spirit orbs, so I could technically have 12 I could technically have 12 heart containers now, and I need 13 to get the Master Sword. So it's here I decided, well, great. Even if I go and get a heart container right now, which I do, I could have 12 hearts, and the next time we can go straight to Korok Forest, get the 3 shrines there, which would give us enough to get the 13th heart, and get the Master Sword. So it's here that I planned to get the Master Sword next time, after what we need to do that we didn't do at the end of this, that is. So we're going to get the Master Sword rather soon. And as usual, whenever I come back here, gotta go up to see if there's a bloopy. Yeah, even I was saying here, I don't think the bloopy's back yet. You know, it's not enough time for it to respawn. And sure enough, no bloopy. Man, I remember recording this right here. I was just like, one of your finest heart containers, please. Or whatever I said. Excuse me, I'm tired. It's been a long day today. Yeah, I also realized Typhlo Ruins is something I still need to do. We don't get the luxury like we do in Tears of the Kingdom, where we get to see what's happening there. So here I am looking around for more shrines to do, and then I realize, hey, the shrine at Satori Mountain, haven't done that yet. It's like one of the last shrines we can do with the open space that we've unlocked already, without going to certain places, like going to Death Mountain. We can't do the ones at Mount Lanayru just yet. Because, you know, we don't have... Yeah, see? We can't do the ones at Mount Lanayru just yet, because we don't have the cold-resistant armor. I just flat out don't want to go to Eventide just yet. And I'm like, I technically could do the labyrinths, but I don't think I have enough stamina. I was like, what is this? Because I'm thinking, I would need stamina to fly over, but then I still need stamina to climb up. I don't think I have enough stamina yet. Or I might, I don't know. So, up next is Satori Mountain. So, let's go do it! Is probably something I said. Now, spoilers, we did not get to Satori Mountain today. So, next time, we will have to start by getting Satori Mountain done, and then we go to Korok Forest, get the Master Sword, as, you know, which also counts as getting the 3 shrines that are over there. It's no surprise I got sidetracked on my way to Satori Mountain. Man, I remember. I saw that flamingo there, and I was like, why does that look like a Chime Echo? So I made it here, and I'm just like, oh yeah, this place. Isn't there a Korok there? Which indeed there is, so that's exactly why I went over. And you know me, I just can't resist fighting the enemies. So I just had to fight these moblins. And you're about to watch me do a pretty bad job. At least against the second one. So Flurry Rush, this one was not that big of a deal. It's such a shame that they started healing, you know, because I couldn't finish this one off with 2 more swings. I had to use my bombs to finish him off, just to save my weapon durability. Excuse me. I've basically been talking for 2 hours. The initial hour of me playing this, which none of got recorded, and now I'm recording another hour of post-commentary, just for you fine folks. So you're about to watch me do pretty bad against this moblin. Even I'm boring myself, watching myself play fighting a moblin. Yeah, you see me do pretty bad against this moblin here. Another yawn. I was thinking, that's actually not that shallow. I want to go down and collect the parts. Here I'm just like, oh, I wish I had Ascend. But this is not Tears of the Kingdom.
Mipha's grace is ready.
So, nice. Got rid of the Bokoblin rather quick. And I'm just like, do I even have a platform to land on with this backflip? Yes, I do. And of course, me being me, I didn't even pick up the Great Flame Blade. I jumped straight for the Korok. And of course, I swim to grab the parts. You see me get bodied from every corner from these Lizalfos. Decided to put on the Zora armor for a little bit of faster swimming. Once I got to here, I'm just like, ooh, there's a little spot where I can stand on to regain stamina. So I tried to find that spot to stand on. And then I gave up. And I still drowned. But of course, I had to jump back down and grab the stuff. And just get out of there. Man, I'm tired. So, now on my way back over to Satori Mountain. Trying to pick up whatever I can. Be an idiot and scare them off. So over here, I'm just like, ooh, another Korok. Let's go get that first. And then I see, wait a second, this isn't another Korok. We're over here. And you know me, I just couldn't resist fighting these guys. Especially because they have shock arrows that they drop. So of course I fought them. I also picked up this Korok on the way. It was here, I was thinking like, okay, acorns to pick up. Wait a second, don't acorns float in the water? I checked again later. You know, I looked closer later on to see if they're floating or not. So yes, indeed, these ones do have shock arrows, so I just had to fight them to get them. I had to fight them to pick up the shock arrows. Let me put on something with a little higher defense. And, well, my weapon broke. I figured my bow is about to break as well, so I may as well use it up. But I was not in a great position. And of course, trusty bombs to finish the job. God, I love Bomb Plus. I love the upgrade. The game is almost unplayable without Bomb Plus. So anyways, here I am looking, or was it here? I was looking at them like, yeah, they're not floating. Don't acorns float in the water? So I decided I could probably do a sneak strike. But I realized my weapon's hot ass, so I swapped over to something better to perform the sneak strike. I think it was here. Now that there's no enemies. Yeah, see? I'm looking at like, these acorns aren't floating. Don't acorns float? So checking how far I am from Satori Mountain. Double checking if there's anything in the water. And then I spot another Korok to do first. And I'm just like, okay, we'll just do that Korok and then call it for today. We'll have to do Satori Mountain next time, along with getting the Master Sword. Fight this bastard as well, because why not? Just gonna be a bothersome if I don't. Little Korok, here I come. I'm just like, oh, I see you two as well, Octorok. If anything, now I'm glad I decided to only record one for tonight, because otherwise I would have had 2 hours worth of commentary to do. And I'm just like, wow, you don't see that often, where Link gets hit and doesn't take damage. I'm just like, okay, let me take down this Octorok first, and then we'll call it. Octorok was even able to anticipate me getting to the top of my ice pillar. And, well, here is where I ended it. So I said my usual stuff. Thanks for watching. Next time we'll do Satori Mountain, wherever it is. And yeah. So, thanks for watching. Forgive me for this post-commentary, and see you next time.